Joining us now is the CEO of United Airlines, Scott Kirby. He'll be meeting with President Biden today to discuss this very topic. Scott, no doubt the president is going to start that conversation saying, thank you. My family is doing the same. What is the response from your employees to this mandate?
You know, that actually, I think, has been the thing I've been very pleased with, is that we knew there would be some negative reaction, and there has been. But my email inbox, particularly from employees, is running about 10 to 1 of people just thanking us for doing it. And the level of excitement, I didn't appreciate how many people there are in our workforce and in the country who really know. They're looking at the data. They see all the same facts that all of us see, and they know it's the right thing to do. And while it's not universal, the response has been much more positive than I expected. And we would have done it anyway because it's the right thing to do. But we've been gratified by the response from employees so far.
Well, other CEOs are now watching you for guidance as they're trying to figure this out. What do you do if someone refuses to get vaccinated?
Well, at United, I think it'll be a very small number that ultimately refuse. But for us, it's a safety issue. And we don't compromise on safety at United Airlines. And because it's a safety issue, we're going to require them. And they'll ultimately not be able to work at United Airlines if they don't get vaccinated. And I think the vast majority of them will get vaccinated. And the thing that makes me feel good is I know for sure, even some of them that don't want to, that we are going to save lives, that there are going to be people a year from now who are still working at United Airlines, who are still alive because we required them to get vaccinated. And even for the ones that are angry with me, and there are some, I sleep better at night knowing that we've done the right thing for them.
You've proven we don't need to wait for the government to mandate it. So why not go a step further? We're seeing a growing number of restaurants, bars, gyms, and other businesses not just require their employees, but also require their customers to get vaccinated. Why aren't you going a step further and requiring passengers to do the same? You've got the power.
Yeah, well, look, first, I hope that, and I think that the ball is rolling. I think broadly society is beginning to change. You see the vaccination rates already going up. You mentioned the White House call that's going to happen later today. I think there's going to be more and more employers doing the same thing. I think this is going to be like masks, that we're going to just be on a roll to get most of the country vaccinated. That said, trying to require all customers to be vaccinated, really is something that I think probably fits more appropriately in government and government direction. And it also would be, logistically impractical to do domestically here in the United States. It is happening internationally, and I expect that's going to be the rule in most international travel as borders start to open up. But domestically, I think it would require government response and government tracking to make that practical and make it work. And so it's probably unlikely to happen domestically.
Following the announcement, have you seen any immediate positive or negative impacts on your bookings?
No, it's too soon to be able to tell anything like that. And the truth is, we didn't do it for that reason. It had nothing to do with why we did it. Once you kind of look at the data, and particularly over 99% of the people that are hospital or that are dying from COVID are unvaccinated, which implies, given the level of vaccination in the country, that it's about 300 times as likely to die of COVID if you're unvaccinated. Once you have that statistic in your mind, at least to me, it's impossible not to require vaccinations. And we haven't seen an impact one way or another. It's too early probably to tell, but it's also irrelevant because once we knew, or once I could do the math, that you're 300 times less likely to die if you've been vaccinated, there was no choice but to require it.